Hey guys, Cody here with Venomous Wargaming. Sorry for the lack of the formal intro with the tripod and all that good stuff, but today's a bit of a crazy day. It's a narrative apocalypse event for the Fate of Konor global campaign that's going on right now, as you guys are all probably familiar with for 40k. I'm taking part in it with my Necrons, here with several of my friends. We're fighting on the side of Chaos. I'm not going to be fighting on Chaos ever again for the rest of the campaign. I'm going to be purely Imperium, just so you guys know. But I'm doing this with my friends because they wanted me to, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the board and stuff like that, and I'll see you guys in just a second. There's Ski, by the way. Yeah. Alright everybody, so we went ahead and deployed. Imperium's already going. There's just too many people here, too many armies to do formal introduction and stuff like that, so I'm going to show you guys on the fly as everything's going on. So I'm going to transfer over to the board real quick. Hey guys, Cody here. I know this is going to be a little weird, but I had to record audio on an audio file to place over the video because it was just too loud from the APOC match, so I'm going to talk to you guys like this. So, the armies we had here were Grey Knights, 2 Blood Angels, Eldar, Astra Militarum, and Ultramarines versus me on the Chaos side of my Necrons, with Death Guard, Chaos Demons, World Eaters, Corsairs, and a mixture of Chaos Space Marines. So, to summarize all the turns, the Imperium on the turn 1 really had their objective to just surge forward into the city. They dealt a huge amount of wounds to Angrath, somewhere between 15 and 20. I lost a few wounds on a Doomsday Arc for bolter fire. That was really about it, and they just surged forward. Summarizing Chaos turn 1 and Imperium turn 2 really is Chaos turn 1. We really didn't do much besides played a little defensively. We sustained a few light casualties, nothing too bad. We really didn't do too much to Imperium turn 1 for us either. So going into Imperium turn 2, their reserves arrived, and they even had an even greater surge this turn of trying to get their reinforcements forward to conquer the fire base that we were holding and the bridges that we were also trying to keep out of their grasp. So we pretty much on the right flank were being forced to deal with Blood Angels and Astra Militarum at point blank range. So me and the Death Guard had that objective to do. Going into Chaos turn 2, our reserves arrived. We also had the distinct objective now of trying to deal with the Astra Militarum Blood Angels almost single-handedly between me and the Death Guard, with some Corsairs flying around helping. The Blood Angels and Astra Militarum lost several of their vehicles. The Blood Angels took heavy casualties from their Terminators, and they lost a Furioso Dreadnought. I was pretty much completely unscathed at this point. I did suffer a few wounds on my vehicles, but I have living metal, so they regained wounds anyway, so I wasn't really, too worried. The Chaos forces on the left side of the board, or across the bridge, you guys can see where Angrath was. Angrath had lost a lot of wounds. He jumped forward trying to kill some stuff. He killed a Storm Raven turn 1, but then he got killed on Imperium turn 2, unfortunately. And that was a devastating blow. And then, despite that, we regained a lot of lost ground turn 2, and we pushed back the Astra Militarum Blood Angels, and actually it turned from us being defensive to becoming more aggressive after that. So yeah, we actually did really good turn 2, and then moving into Imperium turn 3, the Blood Angels on our right flank rushed forward to attempt assaults against all the guys we had defending the fire base. The Astra Militarum alongside them had suffered a lot of heavy damage to this point, so they weren't as aggressive, but they were basically just backing up the Blood Angels, letting the Blood Angels take the force of the blow. And the Blood Angels and Grey Knights and other Imperial attackers on the other side of the board, where Angrath was, across the bridge, were basically trying to deal with the World Eaters and Chaos Demons and stuff like that over there. I'm pretty much completely unharmed at this point. I did not suffer any damage Imperium turn 3, strangely enough. But other than that, the Imperium dealt out a lot of range damage to my allies, but not me at all, like I said. So going into Chaos turn 3, the Corsairs and the Chaos forces on the left side of the board across the bridge swung forward and started getting very aggressive. And basically the left flank bridge, or well, what was referred to as the Eastern Bridge, is completely controlled by Chaos. The Blood Angels on their right flank had lost their Furiosa Dreadnought at this point, taken heavy damage on their Librarian Dreadnought, and their Primaris Marines were surging forward to try and assist him before he got killed. Astra Militarum's vehicles and their infantry on the right flank had also suffered even heavier losses, and they basically were dwindling down pretty bad. Their commander only had a single wound left, and we just couldn't finish him off, sadly. And that's basically it for turn 3 for Chaos. We were pretty much in the lead at this point in terms of victory points and objectives. Going into Imperium turn 4, the Astra Militarum and Blood Angels basically turned around and threw everything they had into a last-ditch effort to push us off the fire base. That was their objective the whole time, and we didn't really know that, but it's safe to assume. The Imperial Knight that the Imperial attackers had come in on turn 2 was locked in combat with Karn the Betrayer and lost a whopping 21 wounds to him. So Karn is really scary in 8th edition. I mean, he was already scary in 7th, but even scarier in 8th. And the Imperium at this point has ultimately failed in securing their objectives, and they've taken a disgusting amount of damage at this point, and we're doing pretty well. Our Corsair allies were flying around assassinating HQs the whole time, and they're doing a great job at it. And that was pretty much it for Imperium turn 4. Going into Chaos turn 4, we had Blood Angels and Astra Militarum were pretty much completely removed from the right flank and pushed back, including their Primaris Marines. Chaos had basically seized control of both bridges. We destroyed the Imperial Knight at this point. The Corsairs had assassinated several HQ units, which was his objective. And we, as a allied force, had gained control over the entirety of the city. And after that, the game was pretty much called here, resulting in a overwhelming Chaos victory. I received an award for Master of the Warp for more or less ignoring psychics altogether, I guess. I'm not sure. You guys will see that pop up on the screen in a second, I'm sure. But overall, it was a really good game. So basically, the Chaos objective was to defend the city. My particular objective was to occupy as many buildings as I can and also defend the fire base. And the Death Guard really helped me out a lot with that. The Poxwalkers that Ski brought were absolutely disgustingly resilient. Ironically, that's the rule. But yeah, the Necrons are also very resilient, and we complemented each other's forces very well in terms of defensive capability. And like I said, Chaos had a crushing victory here. And here in a moment, it's going to go straight into the post-game talk, and you'll actually hear me there because it's no longer any more like high-volume situations. So thank you guys for watching and bearing the unbearable amount of noise my voice generates over an audio file. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the actual video here in just a second. So guys, here we are at the post-game show. This is the army that I brought of Necrons. So 75 power level, like I said earlier. How it ended up happening was the only unit I lost in its entirety was the Tomb Blades. The Doomsday Arcs each were only wounded, or well, had one wound lost at the end of the battle due to living metal. They were slowly healing every turn, so yeah. Overall, the list did pretty good. The Doomsday Arcs, towards late game, they really weren't getting their shots in because I was rolling really bad on D3, and then I'd miss or I wouldn't win, you know. That's just luck of the dice, though. Or bad luck in my case. But yeah, my mission was I had to bring a battalion, or battalion attachment, sorry, and my mission was to control as many buildings I can and defend the capital, which was the large structure I was kind of in the whole time. That was a fire base. And that was the capital of the city, and I had to hold it at all costs, as well as to get my units to hold as many buildings as I could. Which you probably saw at the end. I moved my Ghost Ark, my infantry around, and stuff like that. So that's what I was doing. As I said earlier, I got Master of the Warp as a certificate for not dabbling in the warp, funny enough. Did a lot of damage to the Librarian, Dreadnought, and stuff like that, so that probably helped. Overall, the Necrons did really well. I just finished painting a majority of them. I still got to do most of their bases and do a few minor details, but they're done for the most part. So, I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm sorry if I butcher it, but the Nihilak Dynasty, I think is how you pronounce it. It's the dynasty that belongs to Treason the Infinite. This is the color scheme I went for. So yeah, overall it was a really good battle. Really hectic, a lot of stuff died, but hey, it's an APOC event. So yeah, like I said earlier, Chaos had a pretty major victory in the end that counts as 2 wins in total for the campaign. So now I'm going to have to go right back, pick up the Space Wolves, and use my Necrons and newly acquired Eldar to push back the forces of Chaos in the campaign, because I don't want them to win in actuality. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little battle report, and I hope you guys look forward to seeing the Necrons in just standard 40k battle reports here in the coming week or so. So hope you guys enjoyed, and happy wargaming from Cody here at Remus Wargaming.